What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Lakers Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I wanted to dive into the latest news and rumors articles that we have seen around the Lakers head coaching job, as after Dan Hurley did turn down the 6-year, $70 million deal that Los Angeles did offer him. So we'll be diving into that here in a second. But first off, guys, I promise you, when the Lakers announce who their next head coach is going to be, we will have a video for you guys ASAP. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, lock us in as your go-to Lakers YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. And plus, it just helps our channel, grow and get it out to more and more Lakers fans. So hit that subscribe button and lock us in. So this news broke earlier today as Woj tweeted out, the disappointing news, in my opinion, that UConn's Dan Hurley has turned down the Los Angeles Lakers' 6-year, $70 million offer and will return to chase a third straight national title. Sources tell ESPN LA would have made him one of the NBA's 6 highest paid coaches. And I want to say this, starting off today's show, I don't blame Dan Hurley at all for saying no. Honestly, in my opinion, I think this was the right call for him personally. Yes, I understand, being the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, it's probably on a short list of dream coaching jobs for coaches out there at every level. But if you guys look at where the Western Conference is leaning, every team in that conference has a young star, and they are, closer to winning a championship than I think the Lakers are. I mean, you look at the Timberwolves with Ant, the Thunder with SGA, the Spurs with Wemby, even a team like the Sacramento Kings with a guy like De'Aaron Fox. They are closer, in my opinion, to being a contender for the next 5 years in comparison to the Los Angeles Lakers. So I don't blame Dan Hurley for saying no to that job. And also, you get the chance to be the first team since the UCLA Bruins back in the 60s and 70s to contend for a three-peat. So, Dan Hurley, I don't blame him at all for saying no. But as it stands right now, JJ Redick is at minus 500 to become the next Lakers head coach. So, if you do put down, let's just say $500 on JJ Redick to become the next Lakers head coach, you would only win $100. So the bookmakers out west and the odds makers are saying that JJ Redick is the overwhelming favorite to be the next head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'll dive into my thoughts on him a little bit here more in a second. But also Woj tweeted this out following the news of Dan Hurley, as he said, after a dog pursuit of Hurley over the past weeks, the Lakers will regroup and resume bringing in candidates for interviews with the hope of hiring a coach by draft. So keep your eyes out for that. James Borrego is expected to remain part of the group, and the Lakers could do their first formal interview with JJ Redick. Now, JJ Redick's name has been thrown out there, probably the most out of all these candidates in terms of who I think is the favorite. And also, dating back in May, Shams Charania and Jovan Buhan did report that the Lakers view J.J. Redick as a Pat Riley-like coaching prospect. So I think the Lakers are viewing as Redick as a guy who can, tackle, both directions of this basketball team. I think he could automatically step in and help the Lakers win now and, get the most out of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and this core of big three. But also, I think J.J. Redick could help them establish a culture in Los Angeles where, maybe it's not that, hard-nosed, tough-minded culture that Dan Hurley would have brought in, but that's smart, that like Steve Kerr type of mentality. Maybe he could replicate that, here with the Lakers. But also, Shams did have this on LeBron James possibly being involved in the head coaching search, and he said, I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers head coaching search. James has made it clear that this is the organization's decision. He's had no conversations with the Lakers about J.J. Redick. And I understand this is coming from Shams, and, he's one of the most, tapped-in beat reporters in the NBA and honestly in all of sports. But who knows if this is true? Like, this could have been easily, Cliff Paul going to him and saying, like, hey, we don't want our name, we don't want LeBron's name attached to the hiring of J.J. Redick, considering they have a podcast together. Like, I could see that easily being the situation. But also, maybe LeBron's sitting here and saying, hey, I'm just going to go to whatever team drafts my kid, Bronny James. So I don't want my name attached to the Lakers head coaching job, and I just want you guys to make this decision, for themselves. So who knows if that was true. But, there's no doubt about it. J.J. Redick would be a polarizing choice. Like, this would grab headlines. This would embrace debate. Some people would absolutely hate it. Some people would absolutely love it. But I will say about the JJ Redick front, do not expect any more JJ Redick news until after the NBA Finals. He is covering it with ESPN, doing the play-by-play with Doris Burke. That is where his priority's at, and I don't think the Lakers are going to bring him in for an interview, after or before or during the NBA Finals. So I do think it could be a situation where it's like NBA Finals ends, he's on the first trip to LA, they do an interview, and they hire him in a heartbeat. Now, this quote from Brian Windhorst is incredibly interesting. This was coming from a couple weeks ago, and this was before any of the smoke around Dan Hurley came out, so I did want to circle back to it. He said, then there is information out there otherwise involving JJ Redick. I will tell you my information is scattered. I have some people saying that this is JJ Redick's job that I trust. And then I have some people saying this is a process that is not complete. And, my gut feeling around this is that this feels like it is JJ Redick's job. Like, I feel like the Lakers, I do believe that they were in a full-on pursuit of Dan Hurley, and, that was their number one option. But it came a lot later than I would have anticipated. Like, the Lakers, after they fired Darvin Ham, it wasn't until a month or I think it was 5 weeks after that we got the first report about them being interested in Dan Hurley. But we got the JJ Redick reports right away. So I don't know if it was kind of smoke from Los Angeles as, maybe they were like, hey, we're going to offer Dan Hurley 6 for $70, so it doesn't seem like JJ Redick was our top choice, considering that the Kentucky Wildcats offered Dan Hurley the same job and the same contract that he turned down. So I don't know if the Lakers maybe thought like, oh, the Lakers title would have got Hurley to leave UConn. My opinion, I think it was a little shady. And maybe I think the Lakers, were, trying to spin zone this and not having it, only be about JJ Redick, and they wanted another name in the bunch like Dan Hurley. But you guys let me know. Would you hire JJ Redick? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comment section. Very curious to see what you guys are going to have to say on this one, as he is the most polarizing choice to be the next head coach. No doubt about it. But we'll get into James Borrego, another leading candidate for the head coaching job here in a second. But we got a great deal going on right now at chatsports.com/Lakers t-shirt, as you guys can get a Lakers t-shirt as low as $10. Click the link, get some Lakers merchandise today. Make sure you guys get hooked up with this great deal. Absolutely love this great t-shirt on screen right now. So if you guys want to get hooked up with an awesome, new piece of Lakers merchandise, hit that link, chatsports.com/Lakers t-shirt. Link for that in the comments and description of today's show. So Marc Stein dropped this report a couple of days ago around Anthony Davis actually maybe preferring James Borrego over JJ Redick, as he says Anthony Davis probably prefers New Orleans assistant coach James Borrego over JJ Redick as a replacement. And, with getting the report from Shams about, him not wanting to, or saying LeBron is not connected with this head coaching search. And now you're getting this, from Marc Stein about Anthony Davis probably prefers, James Borrego over JJ Redick. I'll just say this to the Lakers. Do not make a decision based off the players. Like, you are in no position where it's like, this group of guys is going to get you to the promised land. Because, to be honest, if the Lakers run back the same roster next season, you're probably going to have more of the same. You're probably going to be a first-round exit. Even you could see yourself maybe even losing in the play-in tournament. I think the Lakers' next hire should be about establishing a culture for the future instead of just, going all in on these next 2 or 3 years of LeBron and AD. But James Borrego's had a long coaching history. And he started off at San Diego, where he was an assistant coach there back in 2001 to 2003. And then he spent a ton of time with the San Antonio Spurs, where he actually did win 2 championships from 2003 to 2010. Then from 2010 to 2012, he was a Hornets assistant, kicked it over to the Orlando Magic, where he was assistant there as well, took over as their interim head coach in 2015, went back to the Spurs from 2015 to 2018. Then he actually got the Charlotte Hornets head coaching job in 2018 to 2020, where actually wasn't as bad, as most people would think. But then this past season, he was back on the Pelicans bench as an assistant coach there. And overall, that gives him a head coaching record, mainly from his time. Obviously he had that one interim season with the Magic, but with the Charlotte Hornets, he was 148 and 183. And, considering what the Hornets, franchise has been over the last couple of years, it's actually not that bad of a record. I actually didn't think he did that bad of a coaching job there. So Borrego, I think he would be, the option for the Lakers that wouldn't grab as many headlines, but I think he would be the more conservative choice. And I think, the go for it all in, mentality would be the JJ Redick pick. But you guys let me know, who do you want as the next Lakers head coach? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Maybe it's a name I haven't talked about yet, but you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, my take, if I was making the decision, I would roll the die with JJ Redick on this one. I think he's going to be a polarizing choice, but maybe this is just from me listening to his podcast a lot, and I'm not saying that's the end-all, be-all, being a head coach. Obviously there's a lot that goes into it, but I think he would have the respect of the locker room, and I think he would do a good job. And I think it would be an all-in choice for the Lakers where it'd be like, if he doesn't work out 2 seasons, you're probably firing him, and then you're completely pivoting off the LeBron James era. But hey, if you want to make LeBron happy, want him to re-sign, JJ Redick's probably your top choice. But once we do get news on JJ Redick or Borrego becoming the next head coach, video coming for you guys ASAP. So hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and we'll see you guys next time. Go Lakers.